Welcome to episode 3 of Atypical Air, where we take a non-stop flight down memory lane and discover the long-gone but not forgotten airlines and aircraft from the past. Today's episode is on Aeromarine Airways, otherwise known as the airline of firsts. We'll be discussing its rise and fall and the monumental impact it had on vintage and modern flying alike. All that and more today on Atypical Air. And now, a word from our sponsor. This program is brought to you by Air Aviation, your non-stop flight for aerospace and travel news and commentary. Be sure to like and subscribe to Air Aviation for more programming such as this one. And now back to our regularly scheduled program, Atypical Air. Just over a decade after the first flying machines were invented and air travel was in its infancy, came an airline that laid the foundation for modern air travel and airlines across the world. That airline was none other than Aeromarine West Indies Airways. The airline was formed from a merger between West Indies Airways and Aeromarine Sightseeing and Navigation Company. It commenced operations on the 1st of November of 1920, making it one of the first international airlines not only in the United States but in the entire world at the time. Its first flight was from the lovely tropical and southernmost city of the United States, Key West, Florida, to the other lovely tropical city of Havana, Cuba. It primarily flew the flying boats from mainland Florida to the Bahamas, Cuba, and most of the Caribbean. In spring of 1921, it was recognized as Aeromarine Airways officially, led by Inglis Moore Uppercu, an American businessman involved in both the automotive industry, being a dealer for Cadillac in New York City, and the aviation industry as the then president of Aeromarine Airways. Aeromarine enjoyed many firsts. The first U.S. international airmail service, the first scheduled international air service from the United States to Cuba, the first full-service air carrier with passengers, mail, and express cargo, the first airline baggage label, the first airline ticket office, and even the first in-flight movie. It truly was a first-place air carrier, offering more than one could think of for its time. Its slogan was speed, safety, comfort. The airline then added the Felix Stowe F-5L flying boats, named the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, in homage to its Eastern American heritage. It carried travelers to popular destinations, most of which still allowed drinking during the start of Prohibition. However, despite its major steps forward, it wasn't perfect. On January 13th of 1923, the Aeromarine Airways 75 Columbus suffered engine failure during a flight from Key West to Havana and landed in the Florida Strait. Battered by 10 to 15-foot waves, the hull began to fill with water. As a result, 4 passengers perished. But the ferry ship H.M. Flagler saved the other 3 passengers and both crew members. Despite the success of Aeromarine Airways, it was short-lived. In 1924, after just 4 years of service, it ceased operations due to a freeze on mail contracts by the United States Postal Service. Its short time in the skies will not be forgotten, however, as Aeromarine Airways created the foundation for modern air travel, from routes and service to the simple things, such as baggage tags and in-flight movies. Aeromarine will always be remembered as the standard of American air travel.